What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here today, and I have a new video about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so first off, Best Buy released a synopsis for the game, which should be on your screen now, but I'll read it anyway. So it says, as you look down over the bustling, lively city of Manhattan, your mind whirs with the commotion of flashing lights and loudly blaring noises. Your spidey sense begins to tingle. Crime lurks in every darkened alley, and shadows threaten to overtake the light. In one deft move, you leap confidently from your spot perched atop a skyscraper and begin a dazzling sequence of acrobatic maneuvers, web-slinging your way across a city that you've deemed your personally protected playground. In this exciting story placed along the events of the second film, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 lets you continue the adventures of Peter Parker as you search relentlessly for the person or creature who murdered your Uncle Ben. Now that's interesting to put creature there, because we all know that Uncle Ben was murdered by a man with a gun. So, creature? Who knows what that means? Personally, I think it could mean that maybe Uncle Ben's killer knows that Spider-Man's coming for him, and he gets help from Oscorp, and he turns into like a cross-species genetic monster, possibly. But only time will tell. The synopsis also says, put on the suit and slip on the mask of everyone's favorite neighborhood Spider-Man in this all-new adventure. Investigate and overpower a creative cast of all-star convicts and stop crime dead in its tracks. Explore the streets and skyline of New York City as you use your expansive web-slinging mechanics to glide over the cityscape on trusty strands of web. Perform a series of signature acrobatic combat moves to bring your enemies to their knees and keep evil at bay. Receive rewards for fighting crime or face the punishments if you fail to do so with the new Hero or Menace system. Take advantage of your expanded web shooting capabilities to take down foes and unleash powerful chemical properties to freeze and blow up items on impact. Step out the limelight and return to Spider-Man's citizen alter ego, Peter Parker, in order to hunt down the motivations of Manhattan's maniacal masterminds. Are you ready for an action-packed, adrenaline-pumping adventure with everyone's favorite web-slinger? So yeah, there's a lot of great little bits of news there, especially the Uncle Ben bit, which is really intriguing. I mean, the whole game is about trying to find Uncle Ben's killer, apparently. So the idea of him being a creature could mean a really cool boss battle or something. Anyway, on to the next topic. Okay, so next up, Beanox made this post on Facebook, which details the web swinging mechanics in the game, and it says this. So it's hard to compare, but our web swinging system is different. You need to use the right or left trigger to swing right or left. Plus, you can boost with the opposite trigger. If you swing with the right trigger and then press the left trigger, you will gain momentum. If you release early, you will go further. If you release late, you will go higher. Also, since the web's attached to structures now, depending on how far you are on the left or the right of the attach point, your turn will be sharp or not. So it sounds different to what we've seen in the past in Spider-Man games, but it also sounds a little familiar, like the idea of momentum. That was kind of like how it was in Spider-Man 2. You know, you swing and then you press another button and it gives them a bit of a boost. So yeah, it sounds familiar, but it also sounds very different. So basically it sounds like Beanox are taking all the best parts of the Spider-Man games we've seen in the past, however putting their own spin on it as well. Okay, so last but not least, Beanox answered some questions on Twitter and Facebook, so I'll just give you a quick rundown on what they said. So, you can't change his Peter Parker at any time. That would give up his secret identity, pretty much, don't you think? Now they put a question mark there. I don't know if that means, don't you think? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, in game development, things always change. So, I mean, I asked them if this would happen and if you will be able to free roam as Peter Parker. They said no. So, for now, it's a no, but you never know. It could be changed late in development, and we could see it. You could see it in the full game, but only time will tell, I guess. Changes will be mostly story based. It will be weird to see him interact with villains as Peter Parker when he's supposed to be Spider-Man. When you're walking against a wall, you will now have to press a button to start crawling on it, which I think is similar to how it worked in Spider-Man 2, which goes back to, like I was saying, that they're taking the best parts of Spider-Man games in the past, they're putting their own spin on it, so yeah. As for costumes, Beanox has said the Vigilante suit from the Amazing Spider-Man movie and the first game as a DLC will probably make a return, so if you're a fan of that suit, yeah. They also teased that the red suit and black suit from the Sam Raimi series will make a return, and that there will be more unlockable costumes this time round instead of the first game. So the first game had around 10 costumes if you count DLCs, so I'm expecting maybe 20, 25, something like that. The person voicing Spidey has voiced him before, so that could be Sam Riegel, who voiced him in the first game, Josh Keaton, Christopher Daniel Barnes, maybe even Rhino Romano, who voiced him in the PS1 games. We'll just have to see. They have also said we can expect to see classic A-list villains who you will also interact with before they even become villains. So some of them you will just fight, and others you will interact with them as their alter ego, I guess, which is interesting because they kind of did that in the first game, but just as Dr. Connors, which is pretty cool. They have also said there will be 2 places you will go and visit regularly, which in the first game you had Stanley's apartment, which was kind of like a safe house of the game where you could change costumes, replay missions, talk to Gwen or Dr. Connors. This time around they're saying there's 2. The 2 places that come to mind for me would be I'd say maybe Stan's apartment again, or maybe Peter has an apartment now, and possibly Aunt May's home, which would be really cool, because then that would mean we could probably go to Queens, which we haven't seen in a while in the Spider-Man game. So yeah, there will be acrobatic moves, but there is no specific button to perform the tricks. So you'll swing and you'll just do it automatically, you won't have to press a button. There is no sprint button, as Beanox are using every single button on the gamepad, mostly for web moves. So every button will be used for something. Beanox have assured that the controller shake and rumble features from the first game will make a return in the sequel. You can visit certain locations at any point in time after they unlock through the story, and others early on in the game, which means basically there are open world interiors, so you can go inside buildings and stuff, which is pretty awesome, because you don't really see that much in many games now, which is kind of annoying, because like, I don't know if many of you played Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 2 had so many open world interiors. There was Peter's apartment, the Daily Bugle, there was gyms, flower shops, cafes, nightclubs, what else? There was just so many places you could go. It's insane. It really felt like New York City. This time round, you can probably expect each unlockable costume to have a damage system. So in the first game, there was a damage system for a few costumes, like obviously the default costume, the Sam Raimi costumes, things like that. But this time around, every costume will have a damage system, which is good to hear, because it felt kind of weird that certain ones didn't. Like the first game, there won't be a charged jump button, which is a little bit of a shame, because that was a nice feature in Spider-Man 2, but hey, Beanox know what they're doing. When asked if this game will take advantage of the PlayStation 4's touchpad, Beanox said that they will try to make good use of specific features on each platform, so probably. They have said the game will release in spring 2014, which means between March 20th and June 20th. More news will be released in the coming months, and the new trailer is supposedly going to be released this week, although Beanox don't have an official date. So yeah, we just have to wait and see, and it'll probably just come out of nowhere. So yeah, that's everything really, guys. That's all the news I have for now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, which will hopefully be about the trailer, and who knows, maybe even some screenshots. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe.